He said, remember, we're coming here to rescue you. Before we attacked, hinting at, we're coming. I think that was your opportunity there, man, when we started bombing the streets. I get it. When we're bombing, it's not probably safe to be out there, but, that was your opportunity. But I get it, though, man. You guys don't have the weapons. It's going to take a lot more than just fucking clubs to beat these people. So, it's a cautionary tale of what happens when you let your people be disarmed, unfortunately, because Americans would have never let 30,000 other Americans get slaughtered. We wouldn't have put up with that. No matter what, we just wouldn't have. And, how many countries just have to take it, if their governments decide to do something like this. These Iranians, to their defense, are fucking defenseless folks. We have to be realistic, too. So...
That's their fault, though, Mountain.
It is.
Oh, okay.
It is, but...
Can I get a minute
to... Mountain, so would you say...
Guys, God, let him finish. After Mountain is heaven.
Yeah. I would say I'll be fast. I would just say, folks, this is a cautionary tale. And how many countries, most of them are disarmed. You know what I mean? And so it's a cautionary tale. We can't even let it happen. Under the guise safety, whatever, we understand that even at the end of the day, greater good is we can protect ourselves from a true government. All right, that's it.
Thank you, Mountain. Go ahead, Kevin. You have 1 minute.
I agree with the Mountain. What I want to say is Trump did exactly what he said he's going to do. The Islamic Republic is decimated. They are demolished. Just give 2-3 months and they are going to feel the pain. No Arab country support, no UAE to money laundering, no support. All the sanctions stays the same, and it's probably more, and their all expert is almost going to be close to none. And what I want to say, when the parliament go to work, people go to work, they are going to economically trade the state, and they are going to feel very weak. And then, let's see if the Iranian people has a ball to come out. We will see that. Thank you, guys.
Thank you, Kevin. Excellent submission. Cool. Rafi, did you want to say something, Rafi?
I want to, but I already flew out of my head. It's fine. Continue.
Apologize. I'm sorry, man. No. It's Elham, then Farnood, then it's you, Jack. Go ahead, Elham. Come on, bro. You talk.
Okay.
Just go in order.
All right, fair enough.
Funny stuff.
You're right.
This Jack has some serious issues. But anyways, Mountain, do you want the revolution to happen? I just want to hear yes or no, right?
Yes.
Okay. Revolution is a movement that is led by, structure and also has a leader. So I would suggest that we take that very serious. We don't want chaos. We don't want people randomly come on the streets, or even many of them come on the streets, okay? We want to make sure that when the moment comes, we change the regime. We don't create chaos for the other reformists or what have you. Other people take the power. So I say, Mountain, as an American, myself as an Iranian American, it is our job to realize certain facts that are at hand. One of them is this: they have to recognize, the recognition of the leadership is going a lot to help to avoid any chaos, any other situation, which I think you were comparing Iran with Libya, with Syria, with, Iraq, with Afghanistan. None of them had a revolution. All of them turned out to be chaotic. Why? Because there was nobody with any structure. There was no nation really stand on one common ground. This is how we have it today. It's actually, guys, it's actually not a bad situation. We have a nation that wants to change the regime. There is a leader. It is united. They are very aware of any sneaky, stealing this movement, going to the left or, Islamist again. People are aware. And now you're telling me they come on the street, and I don't change the regime. This is the people's job, okay? But again, I have the question. Why should Trump, right at the moment when Hashd-e-Shaabi are entering the border to come to Iran, why should that be the point that he ceasefire? I as an Iranian, I want to find that trust or whatever you want to call. I don't trust anybody else but the structure of the Lion and Sun revolution. So, why would he do that? That doesn't put out a good message. That's my
Thank
take,
you.
and I'm sorry.
Thank you, dear. Thank you, Fire. Any of the members have anything to say? Hold on. You're after Jack, actually. Yeah, no more. Go ahead, Fire.
I just wanted to ask Mountain this thing because he mentioned the arms section. So, Mountain, would you say if America lost their arms, they wouldn't have the power to take back their government if something like this were to happen in America?
Yes, you wouldn't. Our forefathers strongly understood that. That's why they gave us the Second Amendment. It's the right to bear arms, not for hunting, even though that is a good thing. It's for against a tyrannical government. It's the only thing. It's the only way we were able to win our country away from the British. It's literally the only thing.
So would you say that in simple terms that pretty much it is almost impossible for the Iranian people to take their government back
without firearms?
Yeah, so it's
Yes.
impossible without firearms, right?
Well, yes.
So what do people mean when they tell people to go to the streets? Like, that's what I don't understand. Like, how do you expect people to go to the streets and fight a government?
That's what I said. I said, I mean, go out and take the country back, but at the same time, I understand. I mean, if you look at revolutions, man, I mean, if you look at...
Can I jump in after you about this?
Civil wars, revolutions, they do require weapons, and that's just something, and that one way they could acquire enough weapons initially is through outside funding, America, outside arming, but also if the IRGC started abandoning their post at mass and started handing their weapons over to the civilians or fighting with the civilians. That's what happened in Syria. Unfortunately, that's just not happening in mass like we're seeing. I mean, there's some indications of X, but I'm not seeing it quite yet. But remember, there's a black button. I don't feel good about this as far as the people taking it back because they've put up with so much.
So you think this is going to take much longer than usual?
I don't think it's going to be a regime change.
Yeah, I mean,
Thank you, Mountain. Jack.
I think Trump it was
Let me go before you.
I want to go real quick. Sorry, because I have something. And
I want to ask Jack a question.
wait, real quick, JD. Real quick, because I gotta get this off.
Man, we haven't seen Jack in forever. Where have you been, Jack?
I missed you
He
guys.
just got out of prison.
I had
They bailed him out, finally.
literally. I just got bailed out. But here's the thing: during the British Revolution, the British didn't give us guns. They didn't say, "Hey, Americans, you guys can have guns." We went and we got our own shit. Look at all the fucking terrorists all over the world. They go and get their own shit. They build these holes. They fucking dig tunnels. They go smuggle shit. They have so many ways to go get weapons. The cartel does the same shit. Everyone has a way. If you really want it, you're gonna get it, right? There's always a fucking way. And these people, 47 years later, have not found one fucking way to get a bunch of fucking weapons. I don't fucking believe it. I don't believe there's a sun, tiger, revolution, none of that bullshit. It's all in the fucking heads of they wish there was something like that. I wish it was. I've always said, revolution is only gonna happen from the Iranians. You can't bomb this fucking shit out of existence, right? But I'm not gonna sell you guys the dream that a lot of Iranians here do, that, we're going to overthrow the government, Babajou. It's not fucking happening. This attitude, this whole fucking no accountability, and he's just trolling. Yeah, but answer the fucking question. You didn't do it. Fucked up. It's simple as that.
How would you say the same thing about Palestine?
Where's the
Palestinians? Look what the Hamas did, bro.
Done. Please, Jack. Estepi, your turn. Go ahead. Estepi, are you there?
Yes, sir. Thank you, Ocean. I just want to bring up some minute observations that I heard from Kevin, I believe it was. How do you overthrow a government without guns? Oh my goodness! I'm gonna learn you something today. Guys, have you guys heard about war? That's called World War II. And so China and Japan were at war. All right. China, a lot of the territories that Japan was in, they stripped the people of their guns. Right. Okay. Cool. So there's a Japanese battalion. I think it was about not battalion, a company, probably about maybe 800 Japanese soldiers, and the people, the Chinese people, grouped up together in the thousands. All right, I'm paraphrasing. I'll make sure to find the document. I'll put it in there in the chat for you guys. And they did what's called a meat wave, and they overthrew. Yes, there's a lot of casualties. All right, there's a lot of casualties, but they completely overran that company, and they were able to get weapons. They were able to get ammunition. Okay, World War II. Whoever said when. All right, and with that being said, what's your determination? I agree when I hear Jack or when he makes comments, and I agree, dude. The Iranian people are waiting for a silver platter coming from the United States of America saying, okay, guys, we did the work for you, but you know what? I'm glad you were stuck inside watching it, being underneath the table. I'm glad, we did all the work for you. It bothers me when you guys come up with excuses. Understand this, and I'm on land.
America hasn't done shit. You weren't even able to take over the island. You've gotten two planes shot down. You've gotten drones shot down. An airfield was blown up. If
buddy, what are you doing?
America can't take on Iran, why do you expect people who live in a cage?
John, come on, bro.
Adios. Go ahead and step in it.
I'm gonna land it. Remember, cowards come up with excuses. Patriots come up with solutions. I'll land.
Fire step. So, any of the mods have anything to say? Well, here's the thing. Everything needs time. If by the time nothing happens, then fine. And I agree with you. But not everything happens overnight. And Mr. Jack stated that during the Revolutionary War, there was no help. You're lying because France, Dutch Republic, and Spain helped America to fight the British Empire and Britain in order to be independent. France gave America military equipment. They sent troops. Dutch Republic gave them money. Spain helped fighting the Britons. So
are you
just
telling me it's
lied.
impossible to smuggle weapons? Is that what's
No,
happening?
so I'm saying you just lied that they did without no help. And I'm just calling you out on your lie. You did, yes, sir.
I didn't say it. I literally said we went and got guns. Yes, from France, from all these people, but we made it happen against the will of our occupiers. You didn't do that.
Exactly. It doesn't happen overnight. But yeah. So,
I'm just saying, I got love for you, Ocean, but it's not good.
I don't hate you. You know me. I ain't trust you when you were talking.
I got love for you, bro. I genuinely like you as a person. I don't like saying the shit I say, but I have to speak the truth.
So,
Father, you want to go? Go ahead, Stu.
So I've been listening to you guys forever, and all I gotta say is, okay, the past. We try and we learn from the past, but okay, so let's look to the future. Okay, so if for 47 years the people of Iran have not changed their regime that they've always wanted to change and all that stuff, and everybody, blah 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 blah, but what do they need in order to actually change this regime? Meaning, so do you need guns? Do you need grenades? Do you need ammunition? Like, what do you need? Because the only reason why I ask is because, like, for 47 years you've chanted and protested and blah 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 blah, but you haven't been able to change it. So what does the United States need to do to help you guys beyond uh, beyond bombing your power plants and bridges, like what?
Father, I can barely hear you.
Just turn up your volume, I can hear 5.
Yeah, that's my question. So we can always talk about the past and the blah blah blah, but what about the future? Like we're in a situation where basically the Iranian government has 2 weeks to figure shit out. If they don't figure it out, guess what? It's going to be power plant day and it's going to be bridge day, which is not going to be good for the people. So it's one of those things where how does the parties involved get together and get this shit done? Because right now it's all about solutions, not the past.
Honestly, I don't know if that's actually going to happen, dude. I mean, I don't know if Trump's going to go through with that. Listen, this is a big quagmire. I mean, we would love to win, but yeah, the realistic thing is, man, is that, and I said this, when Trump said their Air Force was obliterated, all their missile capacity was obliterated, I mean, I knew that wasn't likely the case. It's a vast country. It's huge, man. And so this is becoming, it's a hassle, bro. It's bigger than I think than even Trump realized. But I think we can continue, but at what cost? I think IRGC is probably going to survive. The mullahs are going to survive because it's going to take the people. Like someone said, 600,000, maybe 1 million IRGC, yet there's 90 million civilians that are putting up with it.
Who says there are that many? If there are that many, what I'm asking you, Mountain, why are they bringing Hashtag? Let's ask the question. If there are that many IRGCs.
Are you there?
Oh, Coco is back. Coco, we're not separating.
Back. Yeah, you dumb
We
bitch.
are not.
You're
We
sitting
don't
here
have a
lying in the chat.
separatists.
No,
Don't do
bitch.
that.
No, bitch. Eat a dick. Look, all the Americans and all of the Canadians and even some of these Israelis in the room know I'm an American. You're sitting here calling me a fucking Middle Easterner,
we're
bitch.
not gonna separate in
I'm not from the
Iraq.
Middle East. The United States would not even be here if it wasn't for my ancestors, okay? I'm from the West. So you can stop with your bullshit in the chat saying I'm an Arab supporting the IRGC. When I have sat here day in and day out fighting against people who are Arabs who want the IRGC in power and who want my American military men and women to fucking die. So, you can just fuck off with all your name smearing campaign against me, all right? Okay.
You feel better? Good.
I feel better.
Coco, the thing is that you were insulting Iranians the whole time in the comments. You did it not once, not twice, tens of times.
You know what? Don't dish out insults and you won't be insulted back. Do not dish out insults and you will not be insulted back. Respect is earned, not just given.
One second, Nasa. Coco, I'm a very fair person. I'm absolutely fair. I consider myself a very fair. To be fair, you started insulting. To be fair. And everyone who insults the other person, I always tell them, you don't have to insult each other. You could just destroy each other with facts. But to be fair, you started insulting.
When somebody is attacking my character, calling me a Kurdish separatist,
Before that, you started.
No. First of all, I'm not fucking Kurdish. I'm not Middle Eastern at all. And yes, that was the first comment that Ilham said to me before I started insulting her.
That's not
and,
true. You
anybody
started.
else who wanted to fuck
You
on
started.
30, 40 minutes ago, but it's all good, guys.
We all know.
Things on each other.
Coco's
One
from
person
Pakistan.
at a time, please.
Yes,
We all
please be
know.
calm.
We all know Coco's from
Go ahead, Bibi.
Pakistan.
Go ahead, Bibi, go reset the room, please.
Yeah. So Coco's from Pakistan, and I like her. She
Actually, I like her
denounces.
too. Actually,
She
I like
denounces her
her
home,
too.
her birthplace.
The thing is
And
that I
now
like her
She
too.
identifies as American. I don't understand what all the smoke's coming for Coco from. But to be honest, I'm joking. She's an American. She's a full-blooded American. She actually has Aboriginal blood in her. I know her. I've been in lots of rooms with her. Coco's not really that vocal on this app. She does a lot of listening. So she's speaking. It's probably because somebody's been attacking her.
I've heard Coco in Twitter.
But I'm doing a room reset.
No,
So
it's
I want everybody
different
to
person.
vote in the chat, please. Vote in the poll. Please cash in your red tickets. To all the people that are in the audience, thank you for coming today to the show.
You're welcome.
Yeah, thanks for Jack.
Baby, what's up with your
What's up with your
house? What's up with your sniffles?
And I have a quote. At the top of the room, it says Trump House 2.8. Please click on that. Cash in your red ticket to say Joint House. This room today is brought to you by Tylenol, Tums, and Viagra. You're gonna get a headache. You're probably gonna get a sick stomach, and then once you get a hard on, you can go fuck yourself.
Maybe
Thank you
you've
for
had the
coming.
same cold for like 4 weeks, bro. I left and you were sick, or what's good?
cocaine, bro.
Go to the
Cocaine.
hospital. I was gonna say it's the nose beers. Let's go.
I thought it's because Charles is here. Maybe you feel embarrassed since his little ass fucking left.
Man, listen, this is America, baby. And Donald Trump is doing what Donald Trump do. The problem is, guys, I gotta say, I think the IRGC is even stronger after this. Anyone else read the fucking 10-point fucking ceasefire proposal? I know it's just a proposal, but Trump said that was a good framework. It just fucking says all this, it's like a wish list for the IRGC. And I blame, like I said, I'm sorry to say this, but I blame the Iranian people who told us they were going to overthrow the fucking government. And they didn't do.
Okay, perfect. Man left, so I'm gonna leave too, guys. But Man had a comment here that I just wanted to answer, but it's alright. So I think some other day, and let's not think about separating, separatist ideas for Iran. Thank you so much.
Thank you for coming on.
Can we
down to
just fact check
separate.
something that Jack said? So what Jack said was like absolutely like absent of fact. The 10-point that they've accepted America, we don't actually have access to it. That's what was announced today. What you have is the first draft and then the draft after it was announced by the Supreme Council of Iran, not the one that was accepted by America.
Oh, you have access to the classified doc. Is that what you're telling us, brother?
This is what J.D. Vance, like if you were up to the news, like J.D. Vance announced this today.
Oh, really? You
There's
don't follow the Pakistani Prime Minister who brokered the whole deal?
Yes. So the Pakistani said Lebanon was a part of the actual agreement, but that's a derailment from like what was said about what Donald Trump was talking about, the 10-point plan that they said is a good building block or like a good starting point, right? Now, when it comes to that, they said the first one, which was the one from Iran, they threw it away. The second one was something that they said, okay, this is acceptable. Then the third one came after the ceasefire was established, and that's the one that kind of ran everywhere, right?
So what
That's
is
even
that
more
if you're
egregious.
saying that I'm wrong?
Nobody knows. That's why
Oh,
Trump put it,
gotcha.
that's why Trump put it on Truth Social. He said all negotiations are going to be behind doors.
Yeah, that's what they always say, but we always know about this shit. People are always.
Did you see the lady that got arrested today?
Which lady? There's ladies who get arrested like all over the place.
Her name was Courtney. She was the one who leaked to the press about the operation, as far as like the extraction of the F-15 pilot and so on and so forth.
Oh, the journalist?
No, the source to the journalist.
No, is she American?
Yup.
I support that. I don't think she should have been leaking shit like regarding a special operation like that.
I think if you heard, you're gonna find out she was Muslim.
Courtney? I doubt Courtney's Muslim, bro. Maybe. I don't know. Pahlavi's a Muslim.
No, she looks like a white lady.
Jack, do you support America?
No, it was a
Of
white lady.
course, I'm an American.
So I'm curious. Some Americans think about these two things that happened in the past with Jimmy Carter. How do you feel about Jimmy Carter giving away the Panama Canal from the American control?
It's whatever, bro. Listen, America, we could give away and take it back the next day. That's literally like Donald Trump when he was saying we're gonna take back Panama. What he really means is we're gonna take back everything good we wanted. We don't really care about the upkeep and keeping it as a territory. Jimmy Carter did a lot of shit. You're gonna say, oh, it fucked us over, this and that. I'm all about accountability, right? So let's look within. We start blaming Jimmy Carter for shit.
So how would you describe those actions that happened then, in terms of accountability? Who was accountable?
But you'd have to be more specific than that.
Like the decisions that Jimmy Carter made in terms of for America and the people, and the decisions he got politically involved in the Middle East, who would be accountable for that if not Jimmy Carter, who made those decisions? Would you say the Americans that voted for him, or?
Well, listen, right? You can say, oh, America, Americans can come up and bitch about Jimmy Carter. Oh, he put us in this position. But we don't do that. We take care of the bullshit that we caused. Like, let's say we made a mistake. It's on the next solution and we take action, right? We don't go and blame, oh, the British just did do it. It's all their fault or some shit like that, right? So what I'm saying for you is maybe Jimmy Carter did something that was not in your interest, but was in our interest and hurt your country. But what you can do is say, how can we fix that fucked up situation and make sure no foreigners can ever fuck with their shit again?
No, I understand. I'm just trying to understand from an American perspective, how do they feel when their leader gives away points for America?
Carter was the most fucked up president of this country. Like, he fucked up in every...
But you don't hear us crying about his mistakes, right? Like, we just fix any problem.
We have elections, right? Like our elections are basically the litmus test, right?
Yeah, we don't let we don't let 1% of the country destroy our country and oppress us. Like, we would overthrow.
So you would say an election that is actually democratic, it's like the base of how the country can be ran, right?
No, again, this is just obfuscation from becoming accountable, bro. You have to just be. We need this. If I'm Iranian, I would say we need to all band together. We need to smuggle weapons. We need to start working with some small group who also hates Iran, maybe Israel. Maybe we need to get weapons and Uzis from them. Maybe we need to start smuggling it in from fucking Afghanistan. We can pay those people off. Let's start building apparatus of resistance groups. We can start doing all this stuff to overthrow the system that doesn't work, and we can create a democracy. Instead, you guys are fucking looking for my neighbor in Maryland, Reza Pahlavi, to come be your king in America. And you're expecting the Americans and Israelis to do your job for you. It's not gonna fucking happen. So start being accountable. Me personally, I don't believe most Iranians want to overthrow the regime enough to actually do it.
So what would, in your opinion, what would be the most accountable thing Iranians can actually start doing that could be a pre-step for what we have to do?
Organizing a resistance, organize something within the country, not outside of the country like in America. Even organize in a nearby country, a neighboring country with other people who hate your regime. You can smuggle weapons in. You can create allies. You could do so many things that in 47 years we haven't seen you do, to be honest. Dude, look at there's fucking Hamas in Gaza with the full blockade. These fuckers built tunnels and found weapons and were able to get all this shit. There's cartel in America. We're able to build tunnels and get... Hold up. There's cartels in Mexico. We're able to funnel in so much weapons and drugs into America, bro. There's so many places where people are able to smuggle. I'm just saying, if you want it enough, you could do it. I don't think Iranians want it enough. I think they want it, just not enough.
Do you feel like a lot of those Iranians that did want it enough, do you feel like that they were killed, unfortunately?
If you're telling me 80% of Iranians want it, I think, listen, the ones who died, sure, they wanted enough, but are they being smart about their resistance in terms of like, hey, let's actually try to create a future for our kids who don't have to be oppressed. Let's get these weapons together. Let's not just die in the street defenseless without weapons.
As soon as I say Palestine, why are you saying Mexico? Can we get back to the topic, please?
No, we're not talking about fucking Palestine. I was just giving an example. We're talking about Iran. My point is that you can't just go overthrow the... I've always heard that before the war started, we're going to run out into the streets and overthrow the government. And I wondered, what the fuck does that look like? And with what weapons? And who's going to hand you the keys to this fucking infrastructure and this institution? No one's going to... doesn't make any sense. That's why I never believed in this plan for the first place. It just had no substance.
No, at the point we need troops. At the point,
so
we need troops.
That's where we're at right now. These are people who are telling us we're going to overthrow the government, but we have no resistance, we have no organization, we have nothing planned besides a guy in America telling us he's going to give us a signal, even though we don't have internet. I mean, it's just the most preposterous shit. I never believed it from the jump, bro.
So would you think if they had the right circumstances, if they had the right circumstances, would they be able to do what you're saying?
Bro, you create the right circumstances for yourself. There's none of this, like, Crimea River shit. This guy, Bahruz, after all I said, he said, shut up, Jack, come on, Jack, we will fuck you. Instead of saying, hey, man, having, like, a logical argument, or maybe, hey, there's some things you don't know. No, he's just, hey, I'm gonna fucking fuck you, blah, blah, blah. This
Maybe
is the attitude of someone who criticizes you.
Jack. Maybe it's your profile picture.
Yeah, but don't you support
It
democracy?
is insulting to many people, and they insult you back.
Yeah,
Maybe
that's fine to insult. That's fine, but we're talking about
insult
the
is
future of
fine,
your
but it's
civilization.
both
Right?
way, You can't insult people and they respect you.
Listen, this guy's my neighbor. I can literally insult my neighbor if I want to. He's a fucking piece of shit. He's done nothing but gotten Iranians killed. I think he's the most detrimental
And by the
thing
way,
to
that's
free Iran.
misogynist too.
That's cool. It's freedom of speech. This is a democracy. That's what you guys want, right?
Jack, so who do you think would be able to lead Iran if not Pahlavi? Like, is there any other options that you see that could lead Iran?
Of course, bro. Iranians are the smartest fucking people I've ever met. I think in the world, they're most fucking genius people, the most capable people. There's somewhere in Iran, there's probably thousands of genuine leaders who have the charisma, the aptitude, the connections, the know-how of, like, leading a political revolution, right? And you say, oh, they'll try to kill him. But there's an organization that should be behind him, right? There should not just be, like, one guy or something like that, right? Because when he dies, what, does it all fall apart? You need an organization like this regime. When we killed the Ayatollah, it didn't all fall apart, right? Because they had a whole organization. The same shit, the Iranian resistance. Bro, Iranians are literally, like, the fucking smartest, most educated people I've ever come across, literally. And I just don't see the fucking organized resistance where it should be. Like, it should be at a way greater level than it currently is. That's my only critique, bro.
So from my understanding is that you think that there is a leader out there, but it hasn't been shown.
It's a potential. It's the potential, bro. It's the leader. The people are. There's not going to be one guy who's going to overthrow the government. Stop looking for one leader. Start looking for organized resistance. Start looking for.
And we can talk to guys against us. Let's talk to the ones against the regime. Let's talk to the ones against them. I want to hear about who's against
civilization has always been like Cyrus the Great, or one guy leading the thing, and this guy. It's like, it doesn't always have to be one guy, bro. It doesn't always have to be an Ayatollah, a king, a crown prince, Cyrus the Great.
I don't know again, but this one guy we need to listen to. Can we just listen, please? Let's listen.
You interrupted him and let him land?
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, Jack. So would you say that in realistic form, like I don't know, like from my I wasn't born, I wasn't here on Earth for too long, but from my experience and from what I've read, is that every revolution that has happened, it always needed like a. People. Some people say poster boy. Some people say. Some people say a leader in the head of that revolution. It's. What do you think? Do you think that when a revolution happens, does it need someone at the upfront that people should follow? Because in the past, from what I've seen, every revolution, whether it was good or bad, has always had a person leading them. It wasn't maybe, yeah, you're right, maybe it wasn't one person at the forefront or the base or the root, but there was one person in the front of the view leading people.
That one guy is usually like if you want to use like a Nelson Mandela example, right? That guy's the guy who like articulate the grievances of their oppressors, right? To the oppressors, sorry, and to the rest of the world. But the Iranians already have that. They already have people all over the world who are speaking about the Iranian regime, the violence, the struggles, the issues with it, and all their grievances, and the 30,000, 40,000 people they just killed. We already have that. Everyone knows. The problem is, 47 years later, there's no organized resistance. There's no group where it's like, okay, here we have a battalion in the north, in the south, in the east, in the west, in this town, in that town. Here we have an underground group who's smuggling, who's doing, like, every country. Like, we're talking about nation building at this point. You need underground groups to do this shit, bro.
But how?
It always has to be.
Can you give us one way with all the knowledge that you know about IRGC?
For me, if I was like Iranian and I was trying to do this, me personally, right? First, we got to make some allies who are not in Iran, because IRGC will kill whoever's there who's trying to help us. First, maybe you go to a place where they hate the IRGC. Maybe you find some group in Afghanistan. Maybe Israel. Maybe Israel. Maybe US. Maybe some Kurds. Someone who's willing to be your ally at first. Then you get resources. Then, like a lot of other groups, whether it's smuggling through tunnels or through freight, so many different ways to try to get yourself armed with weapons. Try to do that, arm your people, get some organization. Hey, this guy's the commander of this group in this region. Hey, this guy's going to lead this group in this region. We have some form of communication.
Are you aware that Donald Trump tried to arm Persian people at this moment, and a group of Kurdish people took the weapons middle of the way? Are you aware of that or not?
I read about it.
And let me talk with you with facts, since you're a logic guy. I cannot defeat you with fucking shouting at you, whatever. But this guy, I'm putting it on my PTR. You can't see it, right? Apparently, this guy, Masoud Baghani, is the leader of the Kurdish tribe that, are in charge, that they supposedly should have armed Persian people, right? And you see a clear picture. He's meeting with the top leaders that they're all dead right now of IRGC. Everybody you see in the picture, except the guy with the fucking tie, is dead, okay? And this guy totally was serving for IRGC. Even if Donald Trump, the most powerful man on earth right now, tries to arm Persian people, you should have known by now that there is a big surveillance in our country, that it doesn't let us Persian people to own guns and weapons as easy as Lebanese or Syrians or Iraqis or Afghanis or Pakistan, because the norm of our country is not like them. If you come to Tehran, you're gonna almost see somehow a kind of civilization in there, though it's a third world country, right? But if you go to Pakistan, trust me, my friend, even if you go to the fucking top places in there, you're not going to see any of the shit that I'm seeing in my own country. So before putting out the same idea for 45 straight days, Jack, wouldn't you want to just try some new, like a new method, at least a new thing to nag about for 45 days, 40 days actually, right? You just putting
our crown prince on your PTR with this fucking whatever that you wanted or whatever, and you just specifically repeating this over and over. Why don't I have the resistance? And when I talk with you with facts, then you put your fucking separatist picture that you have from our country, and I see how a person would like you would think. Can you put that picture one more time in your PTR? Can you put that picture in your PTR while you're responding?
Wagwan, my niggas. Everyone bless.
Peoria, so this is the thing, right? The whole reason I'm ever talking about this whole resistance and all this smuggling weapons is because before the war started, right before the attacks happened, I heard countless Iranians, tell me, we're about to overthrow the government. As soon as Trump and Pahlavi give us the word, we're all going to come out of our houses. We're going to rush into the streets. And I thought, and do what? You're going to get massacred. You're running out with no weapons. What do you mean you're going to rush into the streets? Like, they're just going to bomb the country. How is that going to take out the government? It needs to come from within. So I'm looking and I'm like, I don't believe this is a fucking plan unless you have guns or some weapons where you can fight people. Or they're going to just kill. They will kill millions of you guys if they have to. These guys are crazy, right? So that's the reason I keep talking about this. Like, how fucking delusional is that? And that can't be the progress after 47 years, is thinking that that's how it's going to happen. So the whole thing with the Kurds, right? I talked to some Kurds about this. What they said was, we got the weapons. We're supposed to give them to the Iranians who are in the government. 166,000. Pahlavi claimed that we're there and ready to turn against the government if we get them arms and we're going to overthrow it. Then this guy found out that those people didn't exist, at least not even close to the
So I should rely on your source, which is trust me, bro.
No,
source? Trust me, bro.
Bro, just a second.
So should I trust your brother on this? If you have any links or if you have any pictures or, you know, I talk with you with pictures, I talk with you with facts.
You talk with me with a
Talk
picture.
with me with facts, not with your fucking brother conversation that you could have with somebody.
Question. You showed me a picture of the Kurdish guy with the IRGC, and that picture is supposed to tell me because he has a picture with them. That means he's working for them, and you won't your source.
No, I just wanted to show. No. Are you think like I'm that dumb? I know exactly the relationship. I know the exact relationship between Kurdish tribe and IRGC during all these years, and what happened to them from IRGC, and yet they're still serving them because even they are afraid of these guys.
What's your source that this guy was working for the IRGC? Tell us besides a picture.
Let me know about your source. Dude, you were talking about like an important thing. You're just telling me like, yo, my brother, like, you know, I call somebody and
it wasn't. No.
Okay.
This is what the Kurds said, bro. This is what
the Kurds said. Do you have any articles? Do you have any links? Do you have any news? No, I can't rely on your fucking shit. I have to see the fucking source.
I'm gonna pull mine up. While I pull mine up, please cite your source about how the Kurds were working for the IRGC the whole time. That this guy in the picture was working for him.
They were. Everybody knows in this room.
Oh, trust me, bro. Trust me. Everyone knows, bro. Trust me, bro. That's your source. Really?
No. If anybody disagree with that, they can literally say it right now. We're live.
I'm
They're like, I don't know.
Tell me. Prove it to me.
Yo, I just said it. Other people should confirm it.
Is this how you work with source?
No. Are you talking a bunch of...
You asked me for a link. Can you give me a link? Or are you just telling me, trust me, bro?
No. About the relationship between Kurdish tribes and IRGC?
No. That this guy in the picture is working for the IRGC who he's talking to.
Okay. Not working for the IRGC, but listening to them. Like, these guys are two fucking different tribes. They have, like, their own fucking shit, right? They're separate at some points. But they're serving IRGC's purposes. So that basically says they're helping them, right?
That's your observation.
Let me bring you ask me for a link. I'll show you. Can you read Persian though? Can you watch my own fucking news? Like if I pull up something in the Persian media, or I don't know, even if it's from Islamic Republic's media, even better, right?
I mean, I'll take whatever you
even better.
I'll put, dude, whatever, and I'll put it in the translate, and then I'll look in the source and see if it's a legit source. That's the two things I'll do. It's very easy.
Thank you.
But the official Kurds, the Kurds official stance, they're denying ever receiving the weapons, but I don't know if that's real or not. My whole point to for Nude was that you should have gotten the weapons yourselves, you know, because you don't have to wait for, you know, during the war, like when right before shit hits the fan, like, hey, we need weapons now. Like, this should have been done 10 years ago or some shit. That was my point. Or start doing it now, you know? Because, like, dude, there's so many places. Like, yeah, the IRGC is all over the place, but, like, Iran is fucking massive, dude. It's like, you can smuggle shit into North Korea, you can smuggle shit into Iran. That's my point. It's possible.
Yeah, and that's why I asked you, I'm like, from your perspective, because a lot of people have different opinions because they've lived differently, they've seen different things. It's like, what do you think would be right? Because, I don't know, at the end of the day, I don't even think any of our opinions is right because we don't know everything. We only have certain views on everything. We haven't lived through what's going on. Maybe people have already tried and they failed because of how much control IRGC has. But you are right. People should be able to get weapons in Iran. It's just how they get it is the issue, I feel like, that people are running into all the time.
Yeah, bro. I mean, here's the thing. Like, I think there are so many, like I said, Iranians are super fucking smart, capable people. Like, really, probably more than the average person, I think. More than the average civilization, even. Look at their history, look at their present, look at just, even with the shit they're going through, they're still accomplishing so much. There's so many rich Iranians that could be helping with this. But I think it might be more complicated than I'm making it, for sure. But I think I just don't see like enough. Like, clearly the Iranians, most of them don't like the regime. But how far are they willing to go? I feel like they don't want a violent civil war to ensue. And I think that's what's really preventing all this from happening, bro.
So I pulled off a link right here, how you can fucking translate it, do an AI shit or whatever. But read it.
Yeah, I got you. Google Translator right now.
By the way, it's not translating. He's giving you the newest whatever. It's on my fucking.
Ya ilahi, pol.
What's he saying?
Like, this Arab guy tries to talk English as his smartest.
Idea, and this guy, because he's from Saudi Arabia and I'm from Morocco, he's jealous.
But I think I know you, though.
He will be jealous.
Before you used to have a...
I'll be the fucking king of the fucking world. Alright? Because we've got Gibraltar. What is going on, Saudi Arabia? Salman.
On my side, or is he on yours?
Salman, what do you got? Salman, what do you got? A private jet.
Alright, so with the English translation, this place has been the front line of conflicts that is spilling blood of sons for many years. Stretch of land under the rule of one party, and the first stretch of land of rule of one other party. It is here the very area the heaviest fracturnal wars have taken place, where I'm getting to the part, I guess, where they're apparently allies, or this guy's working for the regime. Let me see. Masoud Barzani?
A long
that
article.
Can't be the guy, is it?
Look, Jack. It's a long article, but it has a specific... Yo, you listening, or...
Yeah, I'm just, it's not that long. Like, which part? Put me to the spot I can look.
Sure.
Or is it the guy Masoud Barzani, or is it a different guy? Tell me his name.
Yeah, bro. Don't you know that?
Okay. For several years.
How you talk with Kurdish people and you don't even know who is Masoud Barzani, right?
I mean, you're talking to an American. Do you have to know everything about Americans?
No, bro. You're so fucking confident all over the time. I think like I'm talking to a CIA agent, like in a cover of fucking
dude, I just speak
leftist.
with confidence. What's the issue?
No. It's not like that, bro.
I'm not all-knowing. There's a lot of stuff I don't know.
You just, sometimes you're just trying to sound righteous or whatever. You use like the most fucking elegant words to just prove your point. But no.
I appreciate it, but no, it's not that. It's just the way I talk, bro. I come off a certain way. Whatever. It's not like
It's okay. At least I tried to control my anger for the first time talking.
Don't be angry, bro. Life is beautiful.
Because I got tired of it. How many times should I fucking beat you? How many? What if I'm angry or fucking calm? Peaceful.
There's quietly button. There's no one forcing you here. You don't have to talk to me.
I can tell the same thing to you, brother. Trust me, I enjoy talking to Rafi, guys like Bobak, like
dude. If
Massa.
you don't want to talk to me, we don't have to talk. It's very easy, bro.
Dude, it's just an open space. You don't want any shit here,
Of course, but if I'm making you so angry, we can just end our conversation. You could talk to someone else.
Well,
it's really like not a big deal. But it is good to talk to people you disagree with, in my opinion, even if it makes you angry.
Because maybe, as you said, you're an American guy. Maybe you know a lot of things, but you didn't live them. You didn't see it with your own eyes,
How do you know what I've seen, though? You don't know.
I don't know. Even if you did, you didn't see it in Iran, and what happened in there is different. I don't know if you were in Somalia, if you were in Egypt, if you were Iraq or whatever, but I can promise you that in Iran, everything was different. Everything.
My one question, I agree with you. I don't, and that's kind of why I keep saying this, is no one's giving me a fucking answer that I can can digest it, is like why this hasn't happened after 47 years. And I'm not trying to be a dick and just say shit to piss you off. I just genuinely
blame us too, because you know why? As Persian people, I think it's idealistic to put some blames on ourselves, to just say, hey, we had 47 fucking years. We had to do something. But yet, yes, we had some blacks, terrible blacks, and we're paying the price. Getting killed, 40,000, 100,000, my own family member. It's my third PTR. You can see it yourself, right? Every family had a lost beloved person about half a month and a half ago. So we're paying the prices.
You're the first Iranian to give me.
Yeah, I'm calling my mother. I'm calling my mother. I'm talking to her, and trust me, she was happy that the infrastructures were not targeted. So they could have electricity, everything works, fridges working by electricity, TVs, anything. There's no denying that, right? So she was happy for that, but yet, as soon as she heard about the ceasefire, said why? And trust me, she's not brainwashed. She's not even following a certain political fucking group, or she's not even a fucking, Reza Pahlavi fan as I am, like my dad or my fucking grandpa, right? But she just want to live. Basically, as a woman, she's just trying to live. But it's so hard, apparently, in Iran, right? But yet, as soon as she heard about the ceasefire and I explained it to her, she said, why? I mean, is it done? This Moshtaba guy is fucking the next supreme leader. We have to fucking... She wasn't digesting that there would be a ceasefire, and I said, Mom, it's temporarily. There's no ceasefire. Trump is here to finish the job, trust me. Maybe I'm brainwashed, okay? Maybe in return, even when I'm talking with my own mother, who raised me, okay, since she's, so exhausted with all this shit, she's not saying I'm happy or whatever, I'm rooting for Crown Prince or whatever, but at least she respecting him. Cause she know, you know why? She says in the protest, my mom went outside with her brother-in-law. Her brother-in-law got killed, but my mom survived. She came back home, right? But the thing is that the things that she saw in the protest made her so paranoid. When I talk about Crown Prince, it's like, don't talk about anything. I don't want to listen to anything. What can you expect from the people who just saw the biggest massacre in the century? What can you expect, like, realistically, human-wise? You're living in the United States, you're taking your Starbucks, you're having a great life. Okay, thank God for that, right? I hope you and your children would be, I don't know, safe forever. But the thing is that my mother is under the bombs, and she said, like, why ceasefire? And a guy like Jack comes here and says, like, why don't I have the resistance? I mean, the Iranian people deserve to fucking suffer from this.
The thing is that Peoria,
they have to get killed.
Two most
I never
powerful,
said they deserve to
two
suffer.
most powerful armies.
You said it many times, bro. Even if it was for trolling, you said it many times.
Maybe if you were like we're fussing each other. But Peoria, listen, I say the same thing to Palestinians. I say, let's take accountability.
But can you see its same reaction that you saw it from me, from a Palestinian guy?
100%. They get pissed.
Oh, bro. Okay.
Every time, right? They get pissed. But I say,
being so reasonable right now to talk sense to you, or trying to be like realistic, not trying to put hate toward my conversation to you as a human being, despite whatever you think, which I hate of what you're thinking.
Yeah, Peoria, listen, bro, when all the Gaza was getting bombed to shreds and I'm watching people die every day, people used to come and troll me, right? Like, all the time. Persians, Israelis, all kinds of people.
So you basically like to mock people when they're in fucking critical stages, right?
Literally laugh and, do all kinds of... I've seen everything on this app, right? Okay. But my thing, when I talk to Palestinians, I say, look, you guys, in this world, sadly, might is right. And if you're not ready, you're going to get stepped on. And if you don't have weapons, you're going to get stepped on. If you have shitty leaders, you're going to get stepped on. If you have shitty strategy, you're going to get stepped on. All these reasons, no one gives a fuck. No one's coming to save you. No one's coming to do the job for you. I say the same thing, bro. And after they get mad at me, we have a normal conversation. Like, yeah, we agree. Because I'm not saying it to be provocative.
But the thing that you just said about, like, Kurdish people took the weapons middle of the way and they got out because apparently Crown Prince was lying. Even if lying, I know people would personally, despite whatever they would believe in, even if they're not rooting for Reza Pahlavi, they might be eager to take each and every one of those weapons to fight on their own, personally, individually, family by family. Trust me, it's not like, being mean, being emotional or whatever. But even if he is lying, I can promise you, they're like exhausted youth in Iran that they're fucking done with everything. When the protests happened, they recorded videos that they said, like, oh, I might get killed tonight, but I go out anyway.
Yeah,
I don't care. I don't give a fuck, right?
Fluffy, bro. That's why I don't like him, because he's riling all these people up, but there is nothing. He's telling them, okay, when I give you the signal, you go out. And I'm like, you're setting them up to dive and not accomplish anything. You want them to go out with no arms. You want them to go defenseless. And you're sitting in America, in fucking Maryland, and trying to direct orders. Like, I get it why Iranians like him, but I think he's bad for the Iranian people because he's not there.
How
he's
about
not
they
really
decide for themselves?
Did Khomeini had did Khomeini had an army when he came to Iran?
Just let me finish. Why do you think that you should think what is good for us and let us know that it is not good for you, this one is good for you?
No, I had a genuine question, Master.
What people of Iran...
Because I have no bias here. I just want the Iranian people to win. That's it, bro. I have no bias.
Can I ask you one thing? When Khomeini...
You speak like you're talking about some children who can't understand what is good and bad, who can't understand what is dangerous and not, and someone has told them go to streets without them knowing the danger, and he has fooled them. No, it wasn't like this. Everyone who went to streets of Iran knew that they might never come back home. Everyone knew it. and they decided to go.
I'm talking about after Matza. I'm talking about after the massacre. He was just wait for my word. And I'm like, and then what? What do you want them to do? Like, they have no weapons. What the fuck do you want them to do? You want them to go die? And
Imagine people had weapons, okay? Imagine people had weapons. Two most powerful countries of the world have been fighting them for 40 days, and they haven't been able to stop them. What do you expect from people? What do you expect from people?
Well, you were saying, like, there was a lot of Iranians saying, we're going to have a revolution. And I said, okay. And we're going to overthrow our government. I said, okay. What are you going to do that with? If you're telling me they're too strong to overthrow, then call us. There's no revolution. There's no lion in the sun or any of that. But if we do, then we need a weapon. We need people on the inside and on the outside. My whole thing is, the Pahlavi guy, I get it. There's like this fucking reminiscence about his father, and we think he's gonna fix every problem. I have no faith in this guy. And I'm trying to like understand.
We are the ones who should have faith.
I'm the Persian guy. You should be an American.
I'm his neighbor.
Dude, that's what I don't get you, bro. You're an American citizen. Okay, you might have some political views in our country. That's okay, that's fine. That's your fucking right. You can do it. But you're not Persian. You're not Iranian, bro. Who are you to talk on our behalf?
It's like we decide what is good
This is what I'm trying to get, bro. If you can give me one simple reason that why you should be disappointed in Pahlavi. Okay, even if you're disappointed, you're a great American citizen. Okay, just be an American citizen. That's even better. You don't want to be Iranian.
Listen.
You don't want to be Iranian. You want to own an American passport in your life. That's how you have a good life.
Yeah, thank God.
Okay, so keep your ideas about my country in your head.
Bro, my country is at war with your country. I have this, I'm giving my opinion. This is a
It's
President
okay that
Trump
you're
room.
giving your
President
opinion,
Trump.
but the statement that you're making...
Disappointed in Pahlavi.
Jack, hold on. Jack, are you angry that their country destroyed your country? Now you want to see the same thing happen to their country? Is that how
Their
you
country didn't. I'm all about accountability. Their country didn't do anything to. Let me
they destroyed your country. They put your country in a position where it got destroyed. And you know it's true. Hold on. Do you acknowledge that? I'm not saying that you want the same, but do you acknowledge that their country put your country in a bad position?
Rafi, I only own an American passport. I'm only an American.
Okay.
I have no other country.
Have you ever stated that
if
you're
you're talking about Palestine,
correct? Have you stated that you're Palestine on this topic?
Yeah,
let's
my
be
dad,
grown.
of course.
Okay.
Yes,
okay.
My dad is Palestinian.
Do you feel that the Iranian government or the Iranians themselves as a whole, that due to what happened in Palestine, is on them because they put your country, they played them like a toy.
Bro, Rafi, I see it the other way around. I think Hamas. I know, and that's why I'm giving you a straight up answer. Wallah, I'm not joking at all. I put this on God. I think my country fucked up their country. Listen, what Sinwar did. Look at the domino effect of October 7th. Took down Hezbollah. Took down Bashar al-Assad. Took down brought this war to the IRGC. The IRGC did not want this.
Yeah, I know that they might have not understood the ripple effect of October 7th, what Sinwar did, but Sinwar was on a payroll to your country. That doesn't matter. That doesn't matter that he was.
Sinwar was getting Qatari money.
He was adjacent to the Palestinian territory, but the Iranian regime, the IRGC, still had control out of all the proxies, and Sinwar was a proxy to the IRGC.
Listen, I agree.
You do acknowledge that, right?
If we're talking, listen. I had the same criticism like 2 years ago. I was saying what you're saying, and I was telling this to Palestinians, like, you guys are fuck Iran. Why the fuck are you guys siding with them? But I realized Iran has that clout with Hezbollah, right? They have that. They could tell Hezbollah when to go, and they'll go. With Hamas, they don't have that. Hamas, they'll give them weapons, but they're not going to tell them when to shoot. Hamas shot when they decided, and it was, trust me, when Hania went to Tehran, where he got assassinated by the Mossad, he tried to tell them, please join this war. He said, they told him, this is a Palestinian war. He said, okay. And now they joined the war, but it was by force, by America. Like, the IRGC does not benefit from October 7th. That was a collapse, bro. It brought all this hell to them. They did not want it. I don't think they told them, hey, go do October 7th.
That's true,
I don't think they wanted that to ever happen.
That's true. Somehow he's speaking facts, because IRGC is happy about what Senwar did, because he just started all. If there was no Senwar, Islamic Republic would be still having Khamenei as its first leader, and then none of this would happen. And not even America, Israel, for advocate for us, Persian people, or saving us, or trying to save us. Yeah, that's true, Jack. Okay.
Even
but what you do is to take 10% of the truth that is really happening in the reality and add 90% of your bullshit to prove a point.
I'm giving you my opinion, bro. I'm not telling you, like, you think what I'm saying 10% is true. That's cool. I'm just giving you what I think. I think Sinwar flipped the table on the whole fucking region.
That's true. That's true. Okay.
It wasn't in Iran's interest.
Jack, Sinwar was sitting at the same table as the IRGC. They were all together. It was their plan to always attack Israel through Hezbollah, through the Hamas, through all these proxies. It was their plan together. It might have been planned years ago, prior to October 7th, but everybody was on the same payroll, Jack.
They might have had
you know where the legs grow.
But listen. Here's the thing with the Palestinians. Have been around before 1979, before the Ayatollah was a thing. When this guy was in fucking France, right? They've been trying to destroy Israel. We all know this. This is like open facts. But they wanted Hezbollah, Hamas, and Bashar to stay alive. They wanted, okay, you can launch an attack on Israel once in a while with apply pressure. But we don't want destruction, right? We don't want Bashar to be overthrown. We don't want Hezbollah to be destroyed. We don't want Hamas to be destroyed. What Sinwar did was literally take all this.
I'm speaking from the Iranian. They might listen, because years attacking Israel. Always, what happens? You attack Israel. Israel goes in, retaliates. Then somebody intervenes, and there's a ceasefire, and everybody goes back. You know how it always works. We always got the shitty end of the stick from it, because we couldn't always eradicate them from beginning, because we should have fucking taken them out years and years ago and not allowed more proxies, more terrorists, and so on. And you know how exactly this works. We always come back to, yes, we get attacked, we get hostages, there's a stabbing, there's that. We go in, we do some damage. The U.S. gets involved. Some countries get involved. They mediate the talks. Ceasefire, and it goes back.
And then back to it a couple of years later.
Yes, exactly. Yeah. They just didn't expect that the outcome is going to be this way. That's what I believe.
Well, I agree with you on that.
I believe that they were all part of it. They just didn't expect the outcome to be this drastic this time, that nobody's going to intervene and Israel is not going to listen this time. Because this was the final straw, and that's where they all fucked up.
There's two theories, I think, with that, Rafi. There's one theory that says Hamas knew October 7th. They knew the festival was going to be there. They knew how many people, what the carnage they were going to do, and they knew the response Israel was going to give. That's one theory.
They all knew. It's not only Hamas. Trust me. Hamas shares... Israel shares intelligence with U.S., Hamas shares intelligence with IRGC and other countries that have the same interest aligned with their interest.
So what I'm saying is
exactly
I'm telling you, these are my two theories floating around. There's the theory that Hamas knew exactly what they were going to do on October 7th, and what the end result, right, was basically, we're going to kill all these people were gonna attack Israel, the bases, the Nova Music Festival, all that, and the extent of the damage. One theory that says they knew all that. There's another theory where they said, oh, we're just gonna go get some soldiers, we're gonna kidnap them, bring them for hostage, and do some sort of swap. Me, I'm leaning more towards they knew what the carnage was gonna be, and that Iran didn't give the green light for it, and that maybe Hezbollah didn't even expect it. Because if you think about the communications they were using, were not like I don't even think Hamas's political group in Qatar or Turkey really even saw this coming. I think it was primarily a Hamas militant faction operation, and they didn't even tell the Politburo about it, that they just went for it. And this is my personal take, and feel free to disagree, but I think when they did this, I don't know if he knew what the domino effect would be, but the result of the domino effect was completely against Iran's favor. And I don't think Iran, if they actually knew the scope of like what would happen, would have signed off for it. There's an argument to say if it was like a very limited operation on October 7th, maybe they would give a green light. But I don't know. I'm leaning more towards Hamas, kind of their military faction did this on their own, and they had an idea that it would be that destructive, and they just said, fuck it. We're not doing the tit for tat every other year anymore. This is the once and final thing. We're going to go for this, and we might get support from Iran, we might not, or Hezbollah, we might not, and this is just going to be the last battle from Gaza against Israel once and for all, like one final war, and no more, But I'm leaning more towards that. I think he was a little bit more on that.
Nobody anticipated the reaction to Israel. Nobody anticipated.
I did when it was happening. Rafi, when October 7th was happening, when you were hearing the news, did you think, Israel's going to go and level that place?
Listen, we always scream, but the governments always intervene. Like, even prior to October 7th, there were many attacks from the Palestinians from being flown into their... Like, till today, Hezbollah is still shooting rockets. We haven't taken them out.
Yeah, but the ones Hamas was shooting was like, we'll take them out. It's obviously not good, but we will fuck them up.
Honestly, Rafi, this domino effect shit happened right after they killed Soleimani. That was the main fucking... Yep.
Soleimani, what did that do though to Hamas to cause them to do it? Whoa, you think when they killed
the entire thing? Not
wait, Ocean. Are you saying that when they killed Soleimani, Iran, IRGC decided we're gonna help Hamas do October 7th? Or are you just saying that that was one of the domino?
No, I'm not saying because of they killed Soleimani, they went and be like, let's help Hamas do October 7th shit. I'm not saying that. I'm saying this whole getting rid of these fucking lunatics and fucking terrorist groups and proxies, it started by killing Soleimani. When they decided to kill Soleimani, that was the plan, and everything is going as their plan. So it could take a longer time, but
Are you saying Trump and Israel, when they killed Soleimani, it was okay, we're gonna start dissecting?
Yeah, it was not just to kill him. They had a plan for it, for sure.
But I don't know, because Israel wasn't really down for that operation. If you listen to what Trump said, if you believe what Trump said, he said that Netanyahu backed out the night before they killed Soleimani because it was supposed to be a joint operation. But Trump was mad at Netanyahu for congratulating Biden on the presidential, win when he won the election. So people say, he was just talking shit. So I don't know, but it could be. I won't throw that out the window, in my own personal belief.
I mean, he was a piece of shit terrorist, but he was a fucking genius. I'm not gonna fucking lie.
Soleimani, that guy had fucking clout. When he was working with America to take out ISIS, that motherfucker, bro, there's a picture of him walking with American generals with a bunch of Humvees, and he was working with some local Iraqi militias. That motherfucker had aura. That shit was crazy. But yeah, they killed him like a dog. Well, they just bombed his car, right? Like when he was driving through Iraq.
Yeah,
I think they have.
Yeah, they just. I think
The Hellfire.
Yeah, it was a drone.
Or the Hellfire missile.
Yeah, right on his car. The Iraqis, I think, have it still on that same highway as like a memorial, just like in the middle by the center divider.
I remember that day I had a bottle of whiskey on my own.
Yeah, so that's crazy. A whole bottle, bro.
Cause I'm seeing like this Trump guy is fucking awesome. Like he's taking out the second most powerful guy. Like that's crazy.
Trump, bro, he surprised me because I thought
And you know that was at the very last day of his presidency. That was at the very last days. Yeah, that was at the very last.
Oh, you're right. Because it was literally January 2nd. Yeah, bro, it was like January 2nd, and January is when he was supposed to get the power. That's crazy. You're right. Yeah, that's fucking crazy, bro.
He was like, "Here's my gift to Israelis."
That is fucking crazy.
The tremendous thing, he was expert at cyber bombs.
Peoria, how much whiskey did you drink when they killed
Sorry, man. I told we had a party, our family. Cousins, aunties, everybody, uncles.
Yeah, you know, listen, with the Palestinian issue, I've never been
Hey,
a fan
Jack,
of
can I ask you a question?
Yeah.
Do you honestly, genuinely, you know me. I'm very straightforward. Yeah, I'm sure you know me by now.
Yeah.
Do you get happy when Hamas members get killed?
No, I don't.
Wow.
Why not?
No. Because a lot of times the videos I see of them, and this is gonna trigger some of the Israelis here, but I'm just being honest. I'm an American, right? I was born and raised here, fucking, silver spoon. Like I live a fucking amazing life, and these fucking guys are literally a product of their environment. Born in Gaza, born in a refugee camp, running around in slippers with an RPG. I mean, I was sitting here, I can't really be like, oh, you fucking idiots. I mean, I did tell, the Hamas supporters when all this shit was happening, I don't fuck with them. I don't fuck with this, this whole plan and this whole shit. It's a shit show. I don't like it, but as celebrating the death, I couldn't do it because I felt like, who am I? I'm a fucking American kid.
No, don't get me wrong. Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying if you celebrated and shit like that. I never said that. I didn't mean that. But do you see them as terrorists or do you see them as... What do you see them as? I'm not saying go fucking dance in the middle of the street when they die. But let me ask you this. What do you see them at?
They're mostly pawns. They're fighting for... it depends on the situation, right? I know some of them are literally fucking guys who have nothing left to lose. They're like, fuck, I lost my family. I'm going to join this group. Could be teenagers, could be older. A lot of the military, the political group, I criticize them left to right, up and down, right? Because they're adults and, they're more, I would say, they live a way better life. They're more of elites. The ground level guys, the run and gun guys, the guys who are running through tunnels and shit, I just see them as that. They're literally just pawns of this whole plan, bro.
So, Jack, how would you describe Palestinians that voted for Hamas to lead them? The ones that know what Hamas is and they agree with them all the way?
Well, the ones who voted for them, in 2006, I think, was the last election, right? So... those people, I think, were just fed up with the PA after the fall of the Oslo Accord. So they're like, fuck this shit. We want, when the liberals, you guys don't think the PA's liberals maybe, but in the Palestinian paradigm, they're the moderate liberals, right? Who are willing to recognize Israel as a state, all that shit. When they see that and it results of more settlements and just Palestinians not getting what they wanted in Oslo, a lot of people became more conservative, more right-wing, and that led to Hamas. And to me, I think, if I want to go even further into it, I think Netanyahu personally, I won't say Israel, but Netanyahu and his friends kind of benefited from having a Hamas. Not that he created them or anything, but just benefited from having Hamas kind of run Gaza for a bit, but like a restrained Hamas, not like one that could actually pose a threat, which is why allegedly he had Qatar dump like 30 million a month in cash to Gaza, because he just like, you know, hey, if we have these two factions and they're separated, they hate each other, PA and Hamas, we can avoid a contiguous Palestinian government, which might lead to a Palestinian state, which would be more detrimental than having Hamas, right? So they were like, fuck it, like, you know, we benefit from this. So to me, it's just a result of poor, again, Palestinians. And I'm all about accountability. This is just poor planning, poor leadership, poor strategy, right? Like, really, you got yourself caught off guard. You didn't see this coming. 70 years later, we're in this position. So that's where I'm looking at it from. But again, I'm just born and raised in America. Like, I never fucking lived there as a Palestinian from Palestine. And when I visit, it's like I get treated as an American, right? Not Palestinian. Oh, like you're gonna be living under occupation. So I'm looking at it through my lens. But that's my take.
Yeah, but didn't 67% of people from Gaza supported October 7th? Rafi, is that what that poll 67 or 63%?
Bro, I'm surprised it's not more. You understand? Like, people from Gaza, Palestinians hate the state of Israel, like every bit of it. And if there's Palestinians out there who say like, oh no, they vehemently hate it. No, there's a part of them who secretly loves it, bro. Because
so it's 100%. Right?
Just like the way I could compare it on like the other side is like, even the most liberal Israeli, deep down inside, there's a little bit of Ben Gvir in there. There's a little bit of Smotrich in there, like a little bit of radical, like, you know, I want to flip these people off and just send them to hell.
Because you know why? Because the exact thing happened on 7th October. They're right. Because the exact same thing, I mean, the reason of their hate might be what happened on 7th October. It was clear.
Well, that's the thing. Listen, I'll take accountability for...
You know, as a president, before you land, I want to tell you something real quick, right? So I think, so Israeli people, deep down, they do want to live. They're a group of successful people all around the world. They're owning the best businesses. They're smart as fuck. They survived against the toughest odds, like, you know, Hitler, like, fucking... the worst enemies you could possibly would have think of ever since from the, you know, beginning of Islam till now. And yet they're survived, and at every century they're getting more powerful. They have downfalls, that's true, but right now they have every reason. As a guy who lives in 2026, right, we've seen it with our own eyes that why there would be a little bit of Ben Gvir in each Israeli person. And I think it's not about that. I think in Israel we would have like people who would actually don't want other people to get killed despite of their fucking colors or religion or whatever, because they believe in life. They're life oriented. But there is this Muslim neighbor that they're not letting them or allowing them to live simply. And on 7th October, they do some crazy shit that they prove their point. So, as a Persian guy, even if I'm not trying to be a Jewish Canadian, I'm seeing, like, who threw the first rock? Like, this guy, 7th October, everybody was cheering in National State TV in Islamic Republic. They were saying, like, you know, killing dogs has been started. But, dude, do you think, like, Persian people would think, like, no. My own grandmother... Oh, God. It's okay, though. Yeah, some of them. Yeah, you're right. You're right. Maybe 10% of our country, which is supporting the government, does. But the rest of the people, they're not counted as the enemy for them. So that's why they're having a safer...
like, during the Iraq War, How many Persians hated Iraq?
Did you see what happened in Lebanon yesterday? I don't want to go back to history or what I know from history, because I know you wouldn't get it or you wouldn't be agree on it. But yesterday, did you see what happened in Lebanon?
Yeah.
So did you see the attack?
Right.
So the United States and Israel cooperating on this attack on Iran for 40 days, and yet, besides some strategic purposes, I didn't see that kind of messy attack in our soil. That was brutal. Like when your people is totally supporting them, is totally supporting the ideology, because I've seen a lot of Lebanese people, apparently, even if they're not against Hezbollah, they're okay with it. Even if I've talked with a lot of Lebanese and
Muslims hate Jews.
No, but the majority of Lebanese are Christians.
Lebanese,
and yet,
no, they're not the majority.
I mean,
They have
amount of
some Christians,
percentage.
not
They have
majority.
like 30 something percent is Christian. I think most Christians don't support Hezbollah. I think there's a lot of Sunnis who don't support Hezbollah, and some small fraction of Shia who don't. But I would say most of them don't support Hezbollah, but like they understand.
They might not support Hezbollah, but they hate Israel and Jews.
Exactly. And, well, they hate Israel, not... Dude, like, there's... Like, I don't like putting things in that's just like, oh, it's because they hate Jews. Or like, oh, it's because they hate Muslims. That's why Israel...
I mean, I see it every day, Jack. I can't just deny it.
These days, for
sure. I just wanted to make sure that CIA confirmed that the last pilot who got survived was being helped by some of the locals. I mean, the guy who actually take their fucking cattle and shit into fucking mountain.
Who is he?
Yeah, I wanted to make sure, because I've heard the news in Iran, which is like under, control of Islamic Republic, and yet they just put it out that some of the locals, despite we had a lot of fucking douchebags inside of our country, which they were going to the same direction that pilot apparently landed to just kill him or capture him, but yet I've heard that even CIA confirmed that the second pilot was helped by the locals. I mean, those fucking Ashaya.
Well, yeah, I mean, it's a no-brainer.
I just want to make sure. I just want to make sure to speak with facts, to bring out links in here,
Just go look it up.
No, the second pilot was found in the mountains.
So Jack, are you saying...
But the thing is...
Jack, are you saying if Palestine had better leaders, they would be in a different spot right now?
100%.
So it's really the fault of who's leading Palestine, not the people.
Huge. Listen, I always look like when I'm talking to Palestinians, the only conversation I have is about like accountability. It's not really about anything. I mean, there's, of course, if there's like a major war or bombing, sure, we're going to talk about that. But I'm always like, are these, there's certain leaders where I'm like, this is where they fucked up. Here's a classic case. Here's this fucking leader had it all wrong. Oh, why did they all follow this fucking guy? He fucked up. But these are just my opinions. Who knows how everything turns out? Like, I could be way wrong, and these guys could be smarter than me. I just personally think, yeah, the leadership was trash, and the motivations of a lot of the leaders were corrupted, and, there was a lot of greed and so many fucking things.
So where would you say, how could, as a Palestinian yourself, how would the Palestinian people be able to turn this branch around and help themselves in this situation right now, with what's happened?
Well, they might just be fucked, but we're in Gaza or the West Bank or both?
Just in general for the future of the Palestinian people.
The thing right now is, I think a united government would be best, and one that has a better choice of allies, right? Like the PA decided, hey, we're gonna ally with the Western countries, right? Like, or West-leaning countries, right? Like, the PA doesn't have a great relationship with Iran and the axis of resistance, as some people would call it. But they have a relationship with Saudi Arabia, like the U.S. and a lot of European countries, right? Those are the ones that opened embassies. Like, those were Palestinian Authority ambassadors who were opening those embassies, right? So they have that. And then on the other hand, you have Hamas, which went towards the IRGC and all the access groups, right? Which I felt was a failure, but I see like a benefit of having both too, because on one hand you can benefit from the leverage you get from being part of the axis until obviously now. But yeah, I think having a united government with a contiguous government in Gaza and the West Bank would be good. Gaza, I think for now, once the rebuilding starts, would be in a way better position than the West Bank. Because in my mind, there's no more war that's probably going to happen in Gaza. There's not going to be any resistance groups.
Jack, get rid of radical Islamists.
Well, any radicals, whether they're like PFLP, for example, Ocean, those guys are radical communists, right? A lot of them are atheists, Christians, Muslims, but they're mostly Marxist, right? And they're just as radical. They're probably even more radical because they don't even follow the Quran. Like they'll blow up a bus full of kids. They don't give a fuck. They're crazy as fuck, bro. Like most of the savage shit you saw on October 7th, those are PFLP guys, and like those guys are fucking nuts.
So you're talking about the Marxist radical Islamists.
Well, I wouldn't call them Islamists because they have no like Islamic doctrine when they go to a fight, right? They're just completely Marxist. Like they ally themselves with all Marxists. All their doctrine and their their leadership is Marxist. Like the founder of their group was George Habash. He was a Christian Palestinian. He got radicalized. He saw during the Nakba, his sister was killed in front of him. He went to Lebanon and started the PFLP. It's a Marxist group. And they're brutal as fuck. Like they don't give a fuck. They will kill anybody. Like a bus.
So imagine the same thing in Tehran, that we have a 10x harsher than the thing that you probably was seen in Palestine. But yet, behind the scenes, till a few years ago, and yet they started to do the crazy shit in the public from 5 years ago till now, which the biggest one happened just 2 months ago.
Yeah.
Jack, do these Marxist people do public execution?
Well, they mostly fight the Israelis. Like all their operations have been against the Israelis, the Jews, right? Like, or just they're not just fighting the IDF. These are the guys who will shoot, like I said, a bus full of kids. Like they have no standard, right? They don't answer to anyone. There's no God. There's nothing. They don't give a fuck. But the whole thing with Gaza, I was saying, is now that I don't think there's going to be any future war. I think there will be like disarmament, hopefully a rebuilding, and some semblance of peace. There's still the Israelis, I don't think will open that border, but I think they will probably gain some with the technocratic government. I think they might align with the PA after a little bit and start, opening the Egyptian border and work their way up to getting their maritime perimeter unlocked so that they can go out 6 miles, maybe open a port, that kind of thing. But West Bank is going to require, I think personally, the West Bank, you're going to see another Gaza there pretty soon. After maybe the war in Lebanon, I think in the West Bank, you're going to start seeing fight there, and then you're going to start seeing a big war, and then destruction, and then either they're going to kick out hundreds of thousands, which I don't think Jordan or Lebanon or Syria will agree to, but they'll end up rebuilding again, and then maybe, hopefully, like a final peace. But it hasn't reached the boiling point just yet.
Why West Bank? Why is West Bank more?
The West Bank, because there's settlements there, and there's occupation there. So they're still right next to each other, and there's also a lot of militant groups, Palestinian militant groups, PFLP, there's the Lion's Den, there's bits of Hamas, there's other ones, and more will pop up. Like, it's just gonna happen. And then when the PA can't control them or arrest all those guys, it's gonna cause some big operation onto the Israelis, maybe a settlement, maybe they'll get attacked, and then the IDF will obviously respond, and it'll blow up into like another god. That's what I think. I could be wrong.
So who's the real aggravator in this situation?
To me, bro, it's like obviously, like, I have a bias. I'm gonna say it's the Israelis. If you ask the Israelis, he's gonna say it's me. But you know, at the end of the day, I just think objectively gonna happen because these people want one thing, the Israelis want another, not even gonna meet close to the middle, and it's gonna boil into a fucking big problem. It's gonna be huge. And the Jordanians, like, number one, the Jordanians not gonna want to take in 3 million people, and they don't want to lose, you know, the barrier they have on their border with the Israelis, right? The West Bank is a barrier. Like, if the Israelis take the West Bank, they're obviously going to have a border now right next to Syria, Lebanon. Oh, not Lebanon, Jordan. And those countries are not going to like it. It's going to cause a big shitstorm, but eventually I think it'll create some semblance. After a lot of destruction, there's going to be like a period where it's like, all right, there's going to be no more fighting. I think it's because the Israelis have, like, objectively, they're the superpower of the region. And if they're going to go to war, they're going to demolish everything. They're going to fucking, like, it's going to look like a parking lot, right? That's the word that's always used. And they have the power to do it. And they have the say-so to do it. No one's really going to tell them, no, I don't think. Or, like, no one's going to force their hand into not doing it. So, yeah, that's.
Do you think the Syrians might have aggravated the situation like this to happen over the years?
Which Syrians? Like Assad or who?
Yeah, like Assad and what he was doing in the region.
Assad, to me, was, if I'm Israeli, I'm looking at Assad as more of a, like, he's better than what they have now. Because what they have now is a Syrian.
That motherfucker killed 700,000 innocent lives.
All with the help of the IRGC.
Well,
and
imagine, like,
Hezbollah.
okay, so you said all with the help of Hezbollah and IRGC, and yet you condemned about, like, what? Persian people, what the fuck you were doing in 47 years. You should have, like, do something with no resistance, no fucking thing. You see how big IRGC is?
Bro,
you see that?
Yes, bro.
And you think, like, we as fucking constitutional monarchy supporters were so dumb to ignore that? And we don't know about it?
I don't think you ignored it. This is the reason I'm mad at some Iranians, is that, like, I blame them a little bit for the fact that these people still exist. It's like, dude, we lost, you know how many people, you know, I don't have to tell you all this fucking damage and destruction they've caused. And I'm like, obviously, you know, I wish they would have been gone a lot sooner, bro. Like, these fucking people have destroyed the region, like, in a lot of ways.
Yeah, but Jack, do you see how dishonest you are? Because 5 minutes ago, when it came to Palestine, you mentioned the leadership. You didn't say anything about the people. But now, when it comes to Iran, you keep saying the people. Because 5 minutes ago, you said it over and over. Bad leadership. Yeah. For Iran, you're not saying the same thing. You're blaming the people.
Well, the people.
Do I make sense?
I'm saying,
you just said that.
Yeah, I see what you're saying. But what I'm talking about, the people in Iran, I'm criticizing their leadership. I'm talking about the opposition to the regime's leadership. The, like, Pahlavi, I don't think that guy should be the leadership. I think the leadership should be someone who's actually there, who can actually do something on the ground, because otherwise, the fucking IRGC is going to run the game. And
that's not what I said.
That's not what I said. I'm not saying, yeah, go ahead.
That's not what I said. For Palestine 5 minutes ago, you said bad leadership made all this happen. So, bad leadership, Palestinians, Hamas, this, what the fuck ever. Don't matter.
No.
Because the opposition don't have any type of leadership. They don't have any type of leadership, right?
I got you. They don't have Here's what when I was talking about Palestinian leadership, I mean, like, I'm talking 1930s, right? Like, guys before there was even, like, a Palestinian organization. Like, they didn't have an organization. They didn't have weapons. All the Palestinians who had weapons, most of them died in, like, the 30s during the Arab Revolt against the British. After that, they were like, fuck. That's why all those 6 countries who sent armies like Iraq, Egypt, and Jordan during 1948, it's because the fucking Palestinians had nothing. And that's the poor leadership that I'm talking about. Like, they didn't have shit. And then certain shit with Arafat, he made horrible mistakes. I don't think he was a good leader. Do I think it was necessary to overthrow him? No. Or like his Palestinian the PLO? No. Maybe just get a new leader, right? You guys are talking about overthrowing a regime. I'm talking about in Palestine having a different face to the leadership that exists, because I don't think the cause is flawed. I just think the leader is flawed. You guys think the IRGC's cause is completely defunct, right? Those people shouldn't even be there.
This brings up another question, Jack.
Just gonna say this and then you go further. The main problem is not the leadership, Jack, is the ideology. Because even before 1947, 1948, Arabs, Muslims were killing Jews for no fucking reason.
In Palestine? No.
Yes, sir.
Wait.
You want me to pull
Not
up?
for
1921.
Wait. Let me
They were attacking
first.
They were attacking Jewish villages and killing them for no reason.
Wait. I will say this: from the 20s to 47, all this attacks you saw on Jews was a response, usually some either the Zionist underground, the Haganah, the Irgun, who is doing something similar, and it was like a tit for tat. But I'm talking about like pre-1920, I would say pre-1909, before the Zionist project was like a political movement in Palestine. The Jews and Palestinians were not killing each other. Right? That was not a thing. Like, you can find 3 pogroms that happened before 1880 in Palestine, and most of them were done by the Druze, this Druze. And most of the time, it was like Lebanese or Palestinian Muslims who would came and give Jewish people justice, like by either getting them reparations through money or hanging and murdering the people who just killed a bunch of them. But prior to the 1890s, you won't find more than like 3 or 4 attacks on Jews. During like the Muslim rule, right? Which was like 600 years.
So I have a question for you. So you're saying if the RGC wasn't in power, Palestine would be in a better place?
I won't put it that way. I would say that the region would be in a better place.
And by region, you mean Palestine as well, right?
A little bit. I'm more talking about like, hundreds of thousands of people probably wouldn't have been killed by the IRGC if they didn't exist, right? Like in Syria and Lebanon and shit.
Because I feel like, from a certain perspective, you got to also understand a lot of people in Palestine were also killed for being opposites of what their political leaders were. And if you're saying, they got funded by RGC and then they got funded by other groups as well. So in reality, if IRGC wasn't there to fund these groups, then a lot of Palestinians who died for being opposition would be alive today.
Dude, the Iranians' opposition to the regime always talks about like how much money that Iran is giving to Palestine or Hamas, and it's not really Iran who's giving them money, bro. It's more Qatar. Like for those last 30 years, I don't know what the IRGC gave, but it doesn't beat the 30 million a month.
No, I understand. I understand what you're saying, but the thing is, like, personally, like my grandparents weren't during the Shah era. At least, like my grandfather from my dad's side, because the Shah, like, when people who had like power under Shah, like they were very invested in the Middle East and its surroundings. And I actually like one of my dad's uncle, which is my grandfather's brother. He was like an officer in a big area, and he had a lot of money to invest in a lot of like. He helped build a hospital in Gaza, I believe. When the Shah was toppled with power and they took the power and gave it to the Islamic people, the whole Muslim Brotherhood theatric that happened there in the Middle East. They took away all these things that were created by these guys in the name of Islam. So when I say like, if IRGC wasn't there, and I'm saying more like if these Palestinians were alive, I'm just asking whether like, you know, a lot of the conflict in Palestine wouldn't exist today if IRGC wasn't in power.
I'll tell you why I disagree. Because even before IRGC came to fruition, like pre-1979, you had probably a dozen groups. Hamas was actually created in the late 80s. Or sorry, was it the late 80s or late 70s?
No, it's useless. Have a good night.
I think it was in the 80s, but they initially were actually funded or armed, not funded, but armed by some Israeli generals and other groups who weren't Israeli, but mostly to counterweight the other Palestinian factions, because the other Palestinian factions at the time, which was like 6 of them, they had nothing to do with religion, bro. Like, at all. Zero. But, of course, like, if Hamas came to power, right, they're using it as a religious cause. It's a better look if you're fighting Muslim radical terrorists than if you are fighting, like, let's say, the PLO or the PFLP or some Marxist or, you know, some revolutionary type where, like, the Soviets were supporting them or some shit like that.
So indirectly, you're saying they did affect Palestinians in some, like, major way.
Iran? Or the IRGC?
Yeah, the IRGC and the Islamic group that took over.
I don't know if they affected them in a major way, bro, because their alliance was more of like one out of convenience. Like, they all had their thing. Like, Iran benefited, IRGC benefited more, I think, from the relationship, because when you align yourself with a major Palestinian faction like Hamas, you get legitimacy all over the Sunni Muslim world, which the IRGC benefits from as a Shia country, where it's like, you know, 10% of the Muslim world, where a lot of them are not, you know, maybe seen very well. In the region, it's like, hey, these guys are the real guys who are fighting against the enemy, and they're protecting the Muslims, and they're helping them. But what Hamas really got from them was maybe some weapons, maybe some money, and a little training. Like, it wasn't, you know, they basically just was like a relationship of convenience for Hamas, but for IRGC, it was more like a relationship of, you know, we're gaining legitimacy from this cause. Like, Saddam did the same thing with the Palestinian cause. Gaddafi did the same thing with the Palestinian cause. They used it as a political, a way to gain political clout domestically in their own countries.
So Palestine was always being used for political gains.
Always. Oh, dude, like, if you think you see in Iran, you know how they always have Palestine, like, billboards and pictures and flags. You would have seen the same thing by any Arab leader who was trying to gain political clout at the time. Like Saddam did the same thing. You would have seen the same thing in Libya with Gaddafi. A lot of these guys, because a lot of the Muslim Arab world, they're completely in support of Palestine and the cause. Like, huge majority, especially if you're trying to gain favor by your people in your own country. You're going to say, I'm the guy who's going to help them. I'm the guy who's going to defeat the enemy. I'm the guy who's going to fight Israel and defeat, you know, like, that will get you so much support in Iraq or Libya, you know, so many other places, in Lebanon, you know, all these kind of, that's why the guys who don't support, right, like in the UAE, or let's say in Saudi Arabia, or let's say Jordan, right, these are kings who, they have their own countries, but they have major Western allies like the United States. So they always get this flack of like, hey, you're helping the oppressors a little bit. So they are not even allowed to have pro-Palestine, anti-Palestine, pro-Israel, anti-Israel. There's no protests or demonstrations allowed in those countries, because they don't even want that topic to be brought up, because they're not, you know, going to be able to say, oh, we're we're defeating the enemy and we are gonna conquer Israel and we're gonna free the Palestine. You know, like they want that to be a non-issue. Whereas if you are gonna do it, you're gonna get a lot of like favor from your people in your country. I don't know if that makes sense.
No, it does. But so, do you think that maybe Iran is also under the same impression because it's in the middle of East and they're always being politically used?
The funny
Like
part, yeah, because the funny part in the IRGC is they try to do the same thing, and it might have worked for like a few years, and maybe it gave them a little support in Iran, but it had the opposite effect. In Iran, most people are like, we hate you guys. We hate the IRGC. And what, the IRGC loves Palestine? Fuck Palestine too. Like, it had the opposite effect. So now a lot of Iranians are like, you know, fuck Palestine. Why the fuck would we care about Palestine? We're suffering ourselves, right? Like, why the fuck would we even think about supporting another people when we're over here getting raped by the IRGC who, oh, and they support Hamas? Like, you know, it's like, had the whole opposite effect in Iran because it's not the Persian Sunni Muslim world. Like, that was a failure of a strategy by the IRGC.
So in reality, so you do agree that people are also victims in Iran from these situations?
Bro, obviously, of course. Like, they have an oppressive government, bro. Like, and the only way to get rid of them is, there's only one way. It has to come from Iranians. But you guys have heard my whole spiel about it. The problem, here's another issue too, that is going to have a problem for opposition of the IRGC, is that the IRGC, although they, again, like, yeah, they support Palestine and they get some, like, favor from the Sunni Arab world from that and the Muslim world at large. The other thing too now is during this war, they are the last major power in the Middle East that's actually fighting Israeli hegemony, which is gaining them favor not only in the Arab Muslim world, but even in America. A lot of Americans are like, fuck, you know, like, we're doing this all for Israel, all this shit. So a lot of Americans hate Israel right now, but they're getting a lot of favor because right now they're literally the last opposition and the last fighter against, like, Israeli regional dominance and American regional dominance in the Middle East. So some people don't want them to fall because of that. You know what I mean?
What do you think the end game is going to look like? Do you think a lot more Palestinian people and Iranian people are going to die in their fight for freedom?
Yeah, bro, a lot. But I don't think the RGC is going to fall anytime soon, sadly, bro. Because right now I think they feel more emboldened and they feel stronger and they have, like, more leverage than they did, let's say, like 2 months ago. So I don't know. No regime, no superpower lasts forever. So that's one positive. But yeah, it's gonna be. I mean, I don't think it has to get worse before it gets better. That's what we say here. Anyway, I gotta go, guys. But it's been nice talking to you guys. I'm gonna go visit Pepe in his other room. So you guys have a good night. I might come back later.
that? Did you bring someone up again now?
You know what? Obviously I made a mistake.
Yeah, don't bring the randos up unless we know them.
Alright.
Just too much of that crap, you know? I think it's like 4 out of the 5 people you brought up have said that. Oh, shit. Stupid ass people.
Oh. Moved out from the room, I guess.
What was that?
I moved out from the room.
Oh, it's all good. Don't worry about it. It's all good. You never have to do that. The trolls can stick around and keep watching. That's what some of them are. Some of them are just simps. All they want to do is hang out and watch us, you know? They put a microphone on them and they say stupid shit, you know? Super stupid shit.
Yeah.
Simp ass motherfuckers. Alright, let's see here. Standing in the corner watching, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Fucking simps. It's crazy. Sometimes you know, and then it's like, look, if you want to talk, then don't be a dick. You know, if you raise your hand, be respectful. Don't be a jerk. You know.
Exactly.
Otherwise, listen. You know, maybe you'll learn something. Let's see here. What do I do to get this link?
Don't worry about it. You can send it some other day. I'm not gonna do anything tonight, I think.
Yeah, for sure. Tomorrow I'll definitely send it to you. Yeah, but I think you're gonna like it, man. I think you're gonna be.
I'll give it a shot.
Yeah, I think you'll be okay with it, man. I mean, again, it might work out completely different than what my vision is for what might happen for you, but the simplicity of being able to type in or just say something and be able to, and be able to move is I think what, I think that's what makes it special for you specifically, right?
Yeah.
You know, because you have very little web design background, correct?
Yep.
Yeah, so this thing, I mean, bro, you start talking to it, it's gonna make shit for you. You know what I mean?
That's all I do. I like what Quad. I mean, I barely give it any instructions. It just comes out with these like awesome websites. I'm like, oh wow. The only problem is I don't know how to drag down the calendar. I'm like, jeez. I'm trying to ask Quad, and it's telling me this, that. I'm like, oh jeez. I'll check out a little more.
Cool.
Anyway, brother, I'm gonna go sleep. I woke up at 4 a.m. this morning.
Welcome to the stage, Hope.
Hello, hi.
How you doing, Hope?
I'm doing good. Thank you so much. How are you doing?
Fantastic.
Oh, good to know. Thank you. So, how was your day going?
Oh, fantastic. It was great. What about you?
Yeah, my day hasn't started, so I just wanted to listen something, so I just joined here.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
Are you into domain names?
Sorry?
Are you into developing websites?
Yeah, Yeah, actually, I'm in a learning stage of all those. I'm also learning about domain skills, business and all. Actually, I'm a physiotherapist. So I just want to build a network and a domain also. So I am here to learn about it.
Oh, cool, cool. Yeah, we're talking about Lovable. Lovable is kind of the technology that is really good for someone who wants to build.
Yeah. So that's why I just came here so that I can learn, I can interact, and I can know how things are going. I can ask something, and I can learn something. So that is why I'm here.
Excellent. Well, welcome here. If you have questions, feel free to ask. Happy to help you also with with your pathway and journey to building. I'm looking right now for the referral link to be able to get you guys some free credits, but it's clear to me where they're hiding in my back end. So
just go ahead and email it to me when you find it. domainscience@yahoo.com.
Domain science
@yahoo.com.
@yahoo.com.
Yeah.
Cool. Will do.
All right, guys. I'm gonna go see you guys later.
All right. Sounds good.
Yeah.
So, have you vibe coded before, Hope?
I didn't code it, but I just use Cloudy AI to do that, actually.
Yes. Okay. So you've used Claude to make things. What have you made before?
I did a website on real estate in tinsy.com. So I made a free website for the people.
Can you put it in the chat so I can see it?
Yeah.
Cool.
About that. Okay, I just write it down. Okay.
Words. That's the real word.
Young lady.
No, you're like ignoring everything I'm saying, and it's actually fucking annoying. I feel like I'm having a conversation with a piece of bread. It's boring.